very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you so much for joining in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking through the day. Microfinance institution Satya Microcapital has raised 153 crore rupees from Japan-based Kojo & Company. Now the funds will be utilized to expand operations and to provide financial access to women micro-entrepreneurs for their livelihood rehabilitation. Now interestingly, the startup claims to have provided microloans to more than 4.5 lakh women micro-entrepreneurs. Moving on to the second headline of the day, online physio and pain relief company Your Physio has raised a pre-seed funding round led by Better Capital. Now this round saw participation from Snapdeal founders Kunal Behel and Rohit Bansal's Titan Capital as well as other angel investors. Now the company plans to use this round of funding to bolster its engineering and customer experience teams. Well, online payment company PhonePe has recently launched a $200 million plan to allot stock options to all its 2,200 employees. Now, by having ESOPs at a minimum of $5,000 for all levels, PhonePe is enabling everyone in the organization to benefit from its success in a year when digital payments have grown exponentially. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, the government has directed microblogging site Twitter to remove certain objectionable content from its platform and has warned that the failure to comply with this order may invite penal action. Now, this notice issued by the government has asked Twitter to comply with its order to remove contents or accounts related to farmer genocide.
Well, moving on to our second segment, we have with us somebody who has steered the company Booking.com through the challenging times of the pandemic. I have with me Ritu Mehrotra from Booking.com. Thank you very much for joining us today. You know, the last year has been challenging for companies across the board, and travel has been one segment that has been hit the most. I mean, it was the first to be hit, and I'm guessing it's the last to really recover. What has been your experience over the last year?
Thanks for having me on the show, Priya. It's been a roller coaster, to say the least. Last year has been full of emotions and unprecedented times. I can say that, right? And when I say that, I also say that if you look through post-March, and you also rightly said, this is the sector which was hit the earliest and probably the one to recover the last as well. And even if you look at through the pandemic, one third of the airlines were shut down. There was so much of consolidation that was happening in the market. Room occupancies were down to almost 10%. And so I think this segment has been hit the most. But through the end of the year, we started to see green shoots. We started to see that there were certain segments that started to pick up a little bit better. And I think that has brought in a little bit of a cheer towards the end of the year and starting this year as well. But yeah, truly unprecedented times. And we also feel that, this is not the fight of, months or weeks. It will take us years for industry, for businesses to come back to normal. Different countries and different areas are looking at it very differently. And it really depends on the kind of lockdown measures that were taken in the countries or the amount of cases that happened. So I think all of those things have a direct correlation to way we're seeing the curve also come back up. And till the time there is a sustainable solution, a vaccination in the site, I don't think we can see the travel as it used to be.
When you spoke about the green shoots, that's a positive sign that we're seeing in the travel industry playing out. So in terms of recovery, how much has the recovery been so far? How far are we from pre-COVID levels?
So look, as I said, for us to get to pre-COVID levels will take time. And I'm not sure if you've been following our, global, Booking Holdings report as well. We had a Q3 numbers. So for example, room nights were down by about 50% in Q2, and we call Q2 as the quarter, which is actually Q3 for Indian context. And then we look at our the last quarter that has just passed. It was it plummeted by about 50%. So there was a there was incrementality from that perspective, but our businesses globally are nowhere close to where it was, right? And as I said, it is not going to be weeks till the time it comes back. However, when we look at these green shoots, we are seeing, for example, domestic tourism is coming back. And I am very excited to say that, especially India, where the domestic consumption is very high, I think it's, people have a chance to see their own country. So, which is a good sign in my mind.
So one trend that you see of massive pickup in is domestic tourism. People are getting out and visiting different parts of India. Apart from domestic, if you could highlight maybe two other trends that you've seen panning out, and in 2021, what do you think would be the big themes that would dominate the industry?
So let me first talk about, what did we see towards the, year end 2020, and then I can maybe build the way to talk about 2021, what will still be important in our view. So domestic, as I said, closer to home, drivable distances. I think, people were still not very comfortable as the lockdowns opened up to take a flight. So we saw a lot of these areas, right? So if I look at northern part of India, then places closer to Delhi, or, in west, places closer to Mumbai, from Lonavala to Goa, right? And then similarly in around Bangalore area. So we saw a lot of traffic that was going towards drivable distances. That's number one. Number two, we saw a lot of people actually booking in a short booking window. So let's say if I have to go for a holiday, I'll be comfortable doing it 2 days prior rather than planning for weeks. However, my stay windows grew, right? So look at this. People are working from home. You could work from your own home or actually rent a villa in Digha or in Kullu. And people started to do that. And we saw a clear trend that, our stay windows actually increased. And because of that, we launched, weekly and monthly rates on booking.com so that, people can take advantage of that. So that piece grew. And also we saw a surge, we also call it a vocation, wherein people are looking for more work-friendly places to stay, where they have easy internet connections, secluded rooms, areas. So that is another trend that came along very, very pronounced. Another thing that we saw was people, especially who are staying in cities, they wanted to have a quick weekend getaway. So a concept like weekend or staycations, where you will find the rooms which come in with a lot of inclusions, right? Because people do want to have food outside and they don't want to venture. So, how do you include the meals within the package, right? So that's the other thing that we started to see. Early on, we saw that, a lot of people were going for alternative accommodation. And when I say alternative accommodation, that means villas, holiday homes, beach homes, boat houses, where you can find your own areas to move around. However, that has moved now. We're seeing a fairly even kind of traffic as we're, moving into 2021. But look at this, right? I mean, if I look at how we are positioned, overall, Priya, we are shy of 900,000 listings on the platform, which is huge by any stretch of imagination. And out of that, 140,000 is homes and alternative accommodation. So that saw a huge surge as well early on. And very happy that, we were able to provide those unique places to stay and experiences to our users as well. So these are some of the trends that we saw. And last, that I'm extremely, that's very close to my heart as well, is sustainable tourism. When we were during the lockdown, a lot of people realized the impact of our actions on nature. And I think that people have started to care about. And, we at booking.com have always had a lot of these filters, single-use plastic and so on and so forth, where you can actually choose if you want to stay in a more sustainable kind of an accommodation. And we're very passionate about it as well. So you can do that too. So those were the early trends that we started to see in 2020. Going to 2021, I would say safety will still be at top of the mind for people. And therefore, on the platform, we have introduced a lot of safety measures, like social distancing norms by property, what kind of safety measures, food sanitization measures, our accommodation partners are implementing, so that, our users are ahead in time, they are aware that, what kind of property they will go in. So I think safety sanitization will continue to be there. In fact, we ran a survey that, what are the trends that people are going to look at? And this still came about very, very pronounced. Good 70-75% people said that safety will be at top of their mind. So that would be one. I think another thing will be that domestic tourism and closer to home destinations will continue to rise. I think which is very heartening because it aligns beautifully with the Prime Minister's vision of Dekho Apna Desh. And I think there are some beautiful areas in our own country that people are going to and going for. So very, very excited. And also people are going to say bye-bye to 9 to 5 because I don't think companies are going to start working in the office premises any soon. So, longer stay windows will continue to be there. And last piece that I do want to say is people will ask for value. And value just doesn't come in the, discount-driven kind of, deals. It also comes with, the kind of, things people are looking for. So there is so much uncertainty today in the market. Therefore, people are looking for flexibility. And, at Booking.com, we have one-day cancellation policy and series of such actions that we took where people can, at the ease of their, canceling it, if they have to, they can go around and enjoy that vacation that they have it in their mind.
I want to ask you one last question as far as listings are concerned for 2021. What kind of trajectory are you seeing in terms of listings? Are you seeing specific categories where you expect more listings to really come into the fold? And, in terms of overall rentals and rates, what is the trajectory you're seeing in pricing?
So we have a very, very large inventory by all stretch. And I did mention to you, right, 900,000 listings, which accounts to about 55-60,000 properties within just India. And as I said, within that 140,000 is unique accommodations. So the way we look at it is, we will look at what are the demand-driven destinations, and we realized that, during pandemic, people were going to drivable distances. So things like Nainital, or even I mentioned Digha. These are places that started to pop up a lot. While we already have significant inventory, but we saw that there was an opportunity for us to, acquire more, and we started the effort already. And so we're on the. We already have acquired a large portion of inventory there. In terms of the pricing as well. So obviously we are not there as it was before COVID levels, but we're also seeing that at least in areas, and I think city hotels still have to pick up where they could be or what they were demanding previous to COVID times. But at least in some of these areas and locations where leisure travel is far more and people are looking for inspiration and joy, some of those areas, we see that there is already correction in the ADRs, as we call it, average daily rates. So that has already started to happen.
All right. On that note, many thanks for joining us on the Daily Dispatch. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Well, time now to wrap up this special edition of Daily Dispatch. Thank you so much for logging in. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Thank you and goodbye.